Hello, Professor, and everybody. We are students from SP University, and we are gonna talking about qualitative research methodologies.
History of the ethnography and his pioneers. Ethnography is the study of social interactions, behavior, and perceptions that occur within groups, teams, organizations, and communities. Who was a pioneer? Its origins are traced to the work of both the British anthropologist Bronislaw Malinowski and the American anthropologist Margaret Mead. Malinowski and Mead support their work on the use of participant observation by describing everyday action to understand human interactions and generate anthropological knowledge. Ethnography key features. We identify six trademark features to be considered when embracing an ethnography approach: naturalism, context, multiple data sources, small case numbers, emic and ethic perspective, ethical considerations. Ethnography research entails an interest in cultures, cultural understanding, and meaning making, looking at the culture from the inside with the emic perspective, being attentive to language practice, being close to file, and collecting first-hand experience. Uses of ethnography. Ethnography is a systematic study of people and culture, viral property and climate change. 2019. That's why it could be used in the following situations: searching for the meaning of cultural norms and views, trying to understand the reason for the use of certain behavior practice, examining social trends, an instance like divorce, illness, and migration, examine social interactions and include understanding the roles of families and organizations and their behavior, identify new patterns and new insights into a social phenomenon, understanding the hygiene and sanitation practice of communities, observing the types of punishment given to children at school, studying the behavior of workers in an organization. Page 3. How to conduct it. In course of the Erickson and Covalent 2014, an ethnography research must follow these steps: choosing a file site, doing file work, participation observation, ethnographic interviews, site documents, writing file notes, analyzing and interpreting ethnography data, writing the research report or findings. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: provides comprehensive perspective, observes behaviors in their natural environment, accounts for the complexity of the group behaviors, reveals interrelationships among multifaceted dimensions of groups interactions, and provide context for behaviors. Disadvantages: depend on the research observations and interpretations, difficult to check the validity of the researcher's conclusions. Observers by bias is almost impossible to eliminate, may lack transferability. Ethnography is time-consuming and requires a well-trained researcher.
Edmund Husserl, who is the father of the phenomenological research. He considered that the investigation is radically critical of their own foundation will be fulfilled. Well, we have some key features about the phenomenological research that is important for their functionality. In this case video, we can see some characters about the phenomenological research. For example, we can use the intellectual intuition and the intentionality to describe some ideas and to critique some object about the environment, phenomenological environment. In here, we can see the use of the phenomenological research. We can use a complex issues in the real-life context to the prospective methodology for the subjective experiences in sciences, education, research, and others. Now, how to conduct the phenomenological research? Achieve different way, for example, intuiting to the bracketing and analyzing and describing. Now, this kind of investigation have advantage and disadvantage about your process. For example, is one advantage is that unique perspective and how people perceive the phenomena, and your advantage is the subjective of the investigation that is challenging for your process. Thank you so much.
Grounded theory. The grounded theory is a research method used to expose things like the social processes. This theory was developed by Barney Glasser and Anselmo Strauss in California in 1967. Initially, this theory was only applied to the sociological field, but today it is applied in other fields like political, educational, psychological, and more. Some of the main characteristics of this theory are: collection and analysis of the data take place simultaneously. Categories and analytic codes are formed from data. The social processes are found in the data. According with Noble and Mitchell, Glass and Strauss describe the process of generating data. Collect data, code and analyze the data. The researcher has to decide which details or categories are going to be investigated in more depth. The theoretical sampling is used to produce more data to endorse a key concept. Whereas Howitt and Kramer focus on the following principles of the data analysis in the grounded theory. Constant comparisons. Collect and analyze permit to fit the data better. Coding. The data is described line by line. Categorization consists of organizing the coding. Memo writing includes the crucial data. Theoretical sampling validates the data developed in the memo. Literature review assesses the adequacy of the grounded analysis. How to conduct grounded theory. As specified by Howitt and Kramer, some of the guidelines of the grounded theory are: develop research questions, guides initial data collection, begin data collection. Data collection is an unfolding process. Code of data. Give each line of data a label to describe its content. Theoretical sampling. As theoretical ideas develop, modify data collection to test ideas. Category development based on coding. Monitor for evidence of category saturation. Theoretical sampling of new sorts. Monitor for evidence of category saturation based on the new ideas. Test hypothesis. This is based on the information available in the study. Test ideas in other settings. Developing a formal theory which works more widely. Overall, any stage should be compared with relevant other stages to maximize fit of the theories and data.
Advantages and disadvantages. According with Hussein, Hirsch, Layers, and Osuji, some advantages and disadvantages of the grounded theory are: advantages: provide for intuitive appeal, Foster creativity. Strengthen the conceptualization. Use a systematic approach to data analysis. Provide from data depth and richness. Disadvantages. Involve an exhaustive process. Can fall into methodological errors. Review the literature without developing assumptions. Multiple approach to grounded theories. Cover limit generalizability. There are some samples. Data collecting. You will mostly do this through observation, conversation, and interview. Note taking. After each bout of data collection, you note down the key issues. Coding. As a code, certain theoretical propositions will occur to you as the data collection and coding process decodes. Memoing. You group your memos like with like and sequence then in whatever order will make your theory clearest. Sorting and writing. The order of your sorted memos provide you with the skeleton and many of the words of your thesis you been writing. There are some references for the video.